So what's going on, everybody? It's just another day in real estate, and today I want to share some information with you about equity. So equity is a wealth building tool that's a benefit of the American dream of home ownership. Equity is simply how much is my home worth versus what do I owe on that property. Okay? Now you can achieve equity a couple different ways. Either one, you can force equity into the property, which means that you have done some updates to that home and it has increased the value of that property, or you can achieve market appreciation, which simply means that the sales prices and the values of homes in that area has increased since you purchased your home, and now you have achieved that equity through that market appreciation. So how can I use that equity as a wealth building tool? Let's dive into it and see what we can come up with. So we have our pretty little house here. And as you can see, I wasn't born to be an architect. But we can sell houses though. But I wasn't born to design it. All right. So we have our pretty home here. Our home is worth $300,000. We owe back on that property $200,000. So in the middle here, we have $100,000 in equity. All right, that looks good and that's awesome. But Justin, what do I do with that? How do I access that? How do I gain benefits from that equity in the property? So with this equity that you have in the property, generally a bank or mortgage company, a lending institution will lend you 80% of the equity or 80% of the value of the equity that's in your home. So here you can actually get $80,000 through either a cash out refinance, through a home equity loan, or through a home equity line of credit. Or you could just sell the property and get this equity also. But I want to keep my home and I want to benefit from my equity, so I would do it through those lending options that I just mentioned. Now that I have this $80,000 in equity, this is real cash. This is real money that I can go and use to be able to build wealth with. So how do I use this money? So I have this bright idea for this awesome business, but I don't have the funds in order to be able to kickstart my business. Now I'm able to use this equity to go and start my bright idea business that's gonna build wealth for my family, and I use my own personal house to kickstart that business that's creating cash flow to build wealth for my family. I want to invest in real estate, but I don't really have access to capital like that. I can take this $80,000, come out, buy me some nice little rental houses, okay? This is what we have here, some rental homes. Now I have tenants in these properties. These properties are cash flowing. They're giving me extra income every month. And I took my equity and paid cash for these properties. So now there is no mortgage on it. Everything is profit from these particular properties. That's how I can use this equity to go build wealth. Also, let's say for instance, it's time for that kid to go to school, and you don't want to take out massive student loan debt that's going to have a lot of high interest on it. Now I can take the equity out of my home, send my daughter or son off to college. They go out and do something phenomenal with their lives without having that overhead of tons of student loan debt. You've just created a totally different trajectory for their financial life going forward. Maybe I have some petty debt. I've accumulated some debt through credit cards that have 29% interest rates on it. I'm just kind of in above my head on this credit card debt, and I really want to get rid of it. Now I can take this equity, pay off that high interest debt. Here, my interest rate on my house may be 3.5%. That's a lot better than 29% on a lot of high interest debt, okay? Depending on what your goal is, we'll use a different tool. The home equity line of credit may be the ideal product. The home equity loan may be the ideal product. the cash out refinance may be the ideal situation, but it all depends on what is your end goal over here on this side will determine what vehicle is best used to withdraw this equity in order to be able to use for these purposes. So give us a call. We would love to talk you through how does this work in your life? How does this benefit you personally so you can go ahead and continue to build wealth for your family and for yourself. Looking forward to hearing from you soon.